Mondays are always busy in the tennis world. The tennis is everywhere, but right now we're focused in on Houston. And we are at the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships. This tournament founded in 1910, one of 3 ATP 250s on this busy week of tennis. We also got 2 WTA events as well. So here we are, the River Oaks Country Club. The sun has yet to set, but we got a nice night session coming up. 2 matches still to come on our live coverage right here on Tennis Channel 2. Jeff Chisver working alongside the former ATP Tour vet, Bradley Klon. 2 great matches, Bradley. We got a lot of Americans in the draw. What are we looking forward to?
Yeah, looking forward to this first one right off the bat for our night session. Mackie McDonald, Jensen Brooksby haven't played each other since 2022. Played 3 times that year. Brooksby coming back as the defending champ. He really scrolled his way through the draw last year, coming out of qualifying, received a wild card into qualifying, 3 separate matches, had to save match points, and what a way to earn your first title against Mackie McDonald. A lot more success on the grass courts and the hard courts, but Houston has historically played pretty quickly. You see a lot of Americans here. You don't see many Europeans, so it's a nice opportunity for a lot of the Americans to beat up on each other.
Yeah, a lot to get into with the Brooksby run. Here's a former top 40 player that's kind of looking to get back to where he believes he belongs. Pretty cool, by the way, because we've got a former NCAA champ on the court, and we also got a former NCAA champ in the booth. Here's a guy that was going to go to college, but he didn't. 6'4", tricky player. 52 weeks ago, Jensen Brooksby was ranked 507 in the world. Couple different reasons. He had a couple surgeries on both of his wrists. He also was suspended, which was later reduced. But now he's kind of back where you thought he'd get to, which is top 50 in the world. He's at 41.
He is such a tricky opponent to play against. He's got all the shots. He really knows how to defend out of the corners, keep you off balance. The 2-handed drop shot, I'm sure we'll see a few of those tonight. So for Mackie, someone who likes to play up on the baseline, hits through the court, less spin, but really utilizing his speed as an offensive weapon. It's going to be interesting to see how much Mackie can hit through Brooksby versus how Brooksby defends out of the corners.
Yeah, nice chess match coming up between 2 Northern California kids.
I won't be doing any ball mark inspections, but just in case something goes wrong, leave the mark, don't erase it. 25 seconds, it's automatic. Ball kids can help with the towels. Just remind them which ones you have. You have the one with the tape. Yours is plain. Coach's box is there, and they're letting people in after every game. Any questions? No? So we have heads, tails. Emma? Heads is called. It is heads. Receive. Okay, and just a photo for us that way.
Okay, while we got some time and we got this warm-up, let's welcome in a big-time contributor to Tennis Channel in so many ways, senior editorial manager at tennis.com, currently taking his talents to Houston, working on site. We welcome Ed McGrogan to our live broadcast. Ed, you got myself and Bradley. How's day 1 so far?
Day 1's a good one. This is a tournament I've never been to, for one, and I think when you come into River Oaks Country Club, you immediately feel underdressed in some ways. It's there's a lot of charm here. This is a event. Have you ever been to Newport? Bradley, I'm sure you've played there over time. You get that same sort of vibe here. It's a quaint place. Fills up really nicely, though. Only a few courts going, but the ones that are filled. And it's been a really nice opening day after a very strong opening weekend of qualifying, too.
Yeah, definitely. Ed, Bradley here. Houston was always one of my favorite spots, and you mentioned really the buzz when you step on the grounds. You don't really get that, especially at the 250 level. And it's something that we've seen the ATP start to prioritize, the 1000s and the 500s. You saw it with Dallas and Atlanta combining to make a 500. As they start to devalue the 250s a little bit, have you noticed anything around Houston, or does it still have that same aura?
It's a big community event. I've gotten the sense just being here for a little over a day. And I think your point about the thousands is one that the players think about too. they're just coming off Indian Wells and Miami, and the 1000s have generally just expanded. They're almost 2-week-long events at this point. I think the players really appreciate getting a chance to play at a smaller event, one that they're kind of have a little better grip of their schedule. Talk to Tiafo, to Shelton, to Lerner Tien, to Tommy Paul. They all really enjoy what Houston brings, and I think that's a rarity now on the ATP calendar. They don't get a lot of chances to play these 250s with the bulky schedule, so when they do, I think they're ready to kind of lean into it in a strong way. So I've gotten a good vibe here, both players and fans. The weather doesn't hurt either, mid-80s, but it's a good one, and I think we have a good one coming up tonight, too, on center.
Yeah, that gets me to our next question, because you're such a great resource to have. By the way, you're not underdressed at all, Ed. You look great in that quarter zip. I really like what you brought to the program.
So, like
here
I said,
today.
I had to up it after I popped in here.
You went to the car.
Exactly, even with the mid-80s weather.
Okay, Ed, well, we broke down this matchup a little bit with Bradley. You're great. You can talk X's and O's. You can talk about the storylines. What do you have an eye out for between Brooksby and McDonald?
I think it's just two guys who really need a win, and they've both struggled to start their seasons. But you look back at what they've done, these are two players who've had really significant moments on big stages. McDonald beat Rafael Nadal in the Australian Open 3 years ago, I believe. Brooksby, his coming out party was really putting a scare to Novak Djokovic at the U.S. Open about 5 years ago. So I think it plays into the any given day aspect of tennis and what these two can do. And like I said, they've struggled to start off. You mentioned the injuries for McDonald. Talked to him about that last year, Indian Wells. And he's told me, he's like, if I feel healthy, I've still got it. At a certain point, you have to stack matches, and it starts tonight for him. And Brooksley, like you said, very unorthodox game. A player that I don't think a lot of players enjoy playing because of that. And like you said, he comes into this event now. He was qualifying wild card last year, and now you have the mantle of the defending champion. And what comes with that, I think, all plays into the dynamic of this match. And I think it's a fascinating one right off the bat.
You mentioned the conditions, hot in the 80s. We've seen Houston. It can have incredible weather. It can also it's been ravaged by rain in the past, and the conditions on court change. What's the speed playing like this year, and who do you think that favors?
I mean, from what I saw earlier in doubles and with Shelton and a couple of other players just on center here, it is a clay tournament, obviously. It's also, I don't think it's Rome. I don't think it's as dense, perhaps, as you're going to see over in Europe. So this does benefit, I think. I always say, like, a good serve travels no matter what the surface is. So I think, in this field, you're still going to see power ultimately prevail. But with guys like tonight, like Brooksby and McDonald, they are scrappers too. And they bring a lot that I think gives the clay kind of the definition that it has on tour here. So I still think overall with a field of very U.S. heavy and just the way that I've seen the surface play, I'm curious to see it tonight in little cooler conditions. But when it's this hot, you're still going to see balls fly around it, even though we move from hard courts to clay courts.
Ed, we're underway. We want you to enjoy the night session. We're definitely going to check it with you later in the week, and maybe suit and tie next time, please.
Anytime. Yeah, I left the bow tie at home, but I'll go pick one up over here.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Ed. We'll talk to you soon.
Ed. Thanks, Shiz. Thanks, Bradley.